Alright, let's get real for a second. When you think of ancient Egypt, what kind of faces come to mind? Scotland, the British Isles? For most of us it's a pretty clear image, thanks to Hollywood, textbooks, and a whole lot of historical whitewashing. But what if the story's way deeper, way more colorful, and way more black than you've ever been told? Let's start with Egypt. The original Egyptians, before all those invasions and mixing, were pure black. I'm talking about pharaohs like King Tut. And yeah, there's a reason Napoleon supposedly blasted the nose off the Sphinx. That nose told a story, and it wasn't the one European conquerors wanted out there. Now, Cleopatra? Forget the Hollywood myth. And let's not pretend Europe was ever just white. Tacitus, the chief historian of ancient Rome, flat out said Egyptians were black, and so were the earliest Britons. Herodotus, another OG historian, said the same thing. I've even got books from the 1600s saying the Irish were predominantly black, tracing their roots back to North Africa. The Welsh? Same story. But the British elite rewrote it all, calling it Celtic history instead. And then there's the Black Irish in the Caribbean. Ever wonder why that term even exists? They weren't just white folks from Ireland or Scotland shipped off as slaves. Many were the indigenous black population of the British Isles, pushed out and sent to the New World, Jacobites included. It gets wilder. Some old-school Irish and Welsh historians, I'm talking 1600s and 1700s, describe their people as black. And in some movies, Welsh actors have even been cast to play Mexicans. The irony, right? Even the Bible gets twisted. The Roman centurion who saved Paul? He thought Paul was Egyptian. The earliest paintings of the apostles in Eastern Europe, always depicted as black. Russia. Early icons showing dark-skinned figures. Ethiopia. Ancient apostle depictions as black. But in Western Europe, they literally painted over those images to fit a new narrative. Queen Elizabeth I, multiple contemporary descriptions say she was tall, very dark-skinned, with kinky hair. She used eggshell paste to lighten her face, but Hollywood? Always pale and red-haired. When you do the legwork, you find the origins of the British monarchy are deeply black. Kenneth MacAlpine, known as the Niger, pronounced with a hard G back then, was the progenitor of Scotland's royal line. And that's why so many European coats of arms feature black figures. History isn't just what's written in the books, it's what's been erased, painted over, and rewritten. I'm not here to let the lies of history bury the truths of the story. Stay curious, question everything, and keep digging. The truth is out there, waiting in archives, in ancient art, in the stories that were almost erased. Don't let them bury the real story. The truth of the story lives on. According to ancient traditions, the first human, known as Adam by Ethiopians and Egyptians, Adam by the Hebrews, and Adam by Christians, originated in Africa. Together with his African wife, he became the ancestor of sons and daughters who spread across the world. Their descendants settled on every continent except Antarctica, and were often described in history as both towering and small-statured, dark-skinned peoples. Italian scholar G. Sergi, in his 1901 work The Mediterranean Race, identified the earliest Europeans as Eurafricans, tracing their roots to Africa. Sergi and other leading anthropologists demonstrated that the Nordic peoples belonged to the Eurafrican group, asserting that Europeans ultimately came from Africa. The original inhabitants of the United Kingdom, including Scotland, Britain, Wales, and Ireland, were dark-skinned giants and pygmy-like people. Jean Finot, in his 1905 book Race Prejudice, page 99, wrote the following: Europe's pride is, in fact, a direct result of the Negro race. Ellen Churchill, in her 1911 book The Influence of Geographic Environments, page 121, also observed, ethnologists now consider the long-headed people of Northern Europe to be a branch of the brunette Mediterranean race, originally from Africa, whose features lightened under the pale Scandinavian sun. Sir H. H. Johnston, in his 1911 article Interracial Problems, page 330, remarked, thousands of years ago, a Negroid population entered Europe via Italy and France, leaving their mark in regions such as southern Italy, Sicily, Sardinia, southern and western France, and even the British Isles. According to ancient Irish folklore, a race of dark-skinned giants arrived in Ireland from Africa and Spain, tracing their ancestry back to Noah and Ham. Historically, Spain was once known as Iberian Ethiopia. The scriptures reference a group of giant Canaanites, descendants of Ham, the patriarch of Africa, as noted in Numbers 13:33. These groups journeyed from Canaan to settle in Carthage, North Africa, where they became skilled navigators. Over time, they established colonies in Spain between 1200 and 200 BC, and later in Ireland, Scotland, Wales, and Britain. Legends from Scotland, Wales, and England tell of an African presence that was not foreign but native to those lands. These early inhabitants were described as both tall and short, with dark skin, deep eyes, and elongated heads, communicating in the Hamitic languages of Africa. It is widely believed that their origins can be traced to regions in northern, eastern, or central Africa. The Roman historian Tacitus wrote about a dark-skinned, curly-haired people living in Britain whom he thought had migrated from Spain. When Julius Caesar, himself described as dark-skinned, invaded Britain, he encountered and fought against these black inhabitants. The Cambridge Ancient History, Volume 2, page 34, published in 1926, records the following. The ancient Piets or Pits of Scotland are believed to be the ancestors of a small, dark-skinned population in Scotland. Margaret Murray, in her book God of the Witches, 1933, discusses the dark-skinned Piets. Lloyd Lang, in The Piets and the Scots, 1993, and Skard Eiliv, in Historia Norvegias, also describe an ancient, dark-complexioned pygmy people native to Scotland. Long before the emergence of Scotland, England, Wales, and Ireland, Europe was home to several remarkable rulers. Around 1300 BC, Princess Scota of Egypt is said to have escaped her homeland and journeyed to Caledonia, later named Scotland in her honor, where her descendants also settled in Ireland. King Dardanus, an African Moorish ruler, is believed to have governed the ancient city of Troy around 240 BC. Legends recount that the Pictish King Arthur, dating back to 1300 BC, led a round table of 150 black knights, depicting a powerful black leader and his courageous army. These warriors were known as the Black Knights, a name inspired both by the knight and the deep color of their skin. Halfdan the Black, also called the Niger, was the first Viking of African descent to unify Norway. Reigning from 810 to 860 AD, numerous other Black Viking kings ruled across Europe, including the notable Thorhall the Black. According to the Scottish historian MacRitchie, Thorhall was described as a towering, dark-skinned man with a notorious reputation. MacRitchie also expressed hope that Thorhall would one day be recognized as a black Viking explorer who sailed parts of the American coastline nearly 5 centuries before Columbus. Gormund, an Irish king, was also of African descent.
There's a spot in me heart which no carrying me on. There's a depth in me soul never sounded unknown. There's a place in my memory, my life, that you fill. No one ever take it, no one ever will. Sure I love the dear silver that shines in your hair, and the brow that's all furrowed and wrinkled with care. I kiss the dear fingers so toil-worn for me. Oh, God bless you and keep you, Mother the Queen.
Join me as I dive into the intriguing history of Scotland and try to uncover whether black rulers really played a role in shaping it. Scotland's history is often painted with a specific brush, one that highlights its Celtic and Viking roots, but there's more to the story. The idea of black rulers in Scotland might seem foreign to some, yet it's a part of the narrative that's worth exploring. Recognizing black figures in Scottish history isn't straightforward. Traditional historical narratives often focus on more visible contributions, overlooking the diverse influences that have shaped the country. This isn't a matter of mere oversight, it's a reflection of how history is written and whose stories are told. The challenge lies in peeling back the layers of history to reveal the contributions of those who might not have been as prominently featured in the past. It's about understanding that history isn't just about one group or another, it's about the complex tapestry of influences that have created the Scotland we know today. The narrative of black rulers in Scotland adds a crucial layer to this understanding, one that challenges the conventional and invites a more nuanced perspective. The story of black rulers in Scotland is also one of cultural and political influence. One notable example is that of the Moors, who arrived in Scotland from North Africa and Spain. Their impact on Scottish culture, particularly in terms of architecture, art, and even language, is undeniable. The legacy of these interactions can still be seen in various aspects of Scottish heritage, from the design of certain historical buildings to the linguistic influences that persist to this day. Another significant figure is Sultan Muhammad al-Amin, who had connections with Scotland during his reign. His story intertwines with Scottish history in fascinating ways, highlighting the global connections that have always existed. These examples aren't just footnotes in history, they're integral to understanding the Scotland that emerged over the centuries. They challenge the notion of a homogeneous Scotland and instead reveal a land that has been influenced by a myriad of cultures and peoples. The presence of black rulers and influencers in Scotland's history wasn't a mere coincidence, it was a pivotal part of the country's development. It speaks to the complex and often surprising nature of historical narratives. By acknowledging these figures, we're not just adding diversity to the story of Scotland, we're gaining a deeper understanding of how the country came to be. This understanding can reshape our perception of Scotland's past, present, and future. In reflecting on these stories, it becomes clear that the history of Scotland is more intricate and interconnected than often presented. The contributions of black rulers are a testament to the dynamic nature of history, where cultures blend and influence one another in profound ways. As we consider these narratives, we're reminded of the importance of a comprehensive and inclusive approach to history. To wrap things up, the exploration of black rulers in Scotland is more than just a historical curiosity, it's a crucial part of understanding the country's true narrative. By acknowledging these figures and their contributions, we gain a more complete picture of Scotland's past. Their stories are a reminder that history is complex, multifaceted, and always open to new insights. If you've enjoyed this dive into Scotland's lesser-known history, I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. Don't forget to check out my other videos for more intriguing historical insights that challenge the conventional narrative.
Coloring Book for Kids, Volume 2. Available August 15, 2025 on Amazon. The Bible Lions Coloring Book for Children. Color 30 fun designs of inspirational verses and Christian artwork. A beautiful children's coloring book designed to fill your child's mind with the positive words of God's love. The Bible Lions coloring book for kids was designed to be a fun yet effective way to help children calm their tension. Hand-lettered quotes and adorable hand-designed illustrations will inspire your child as they reflect on God's promises.